So today I will be staying in the refrigerator for 10,000 hours. Will I die or will I die? Stick around till the end where I will of course still scream this high. So what? What an Uncharted rip-off video. I don't want to do that. I want to die in a freezer. But alright, fine. What's the script? Uncharted, a game franchise mocked at its first E3 reveal to be just a Tomb Raider clone, and that led to people calling it Dude Raider, and then that led the channel to be called the same. See, it's all connected. But is it possible for a game franchise to be mocked as a ripoff of a famous game franchise, to get ripoffs of itself, which is a ripoff of a game franchise, to be mocked as a ripoff of a famous game franchise? Yep, I'm stuck in a loop. So, hello people, welcome back to another commentary video, and this is a long-awaited video reviewing all of the clones slash ripoffs slash copies of Uncharted that you can find. This came from a poll posted on my community tab, so if you subscribe, you can help me decide my next video. Which should show you I have fans, right? Right? Right. And cause this took a hell of a lot of time playing these honestly shit games, so please help by liking and commenting. So sit back, get your coffee, your popcorn, and hide your pain while we suffer together. Yeah! Woo! Right. And don't worry, I've saved the best for last. There's one game which you probably didn't know even existed. Shadow Guardian is a mobile game released by a famous mobile developer, Gameloft, who makes games like Spider-Man Unlimited, Gangster Vegas, and the most recognizable, the Asphalt series. The game is basically an Uncharted but mobile port, because it's such an immense ripoff of Uncharted, like Dante's Inferno is still Godfall, but at least that game is a cult classic. The game follows Jason Cole as he embarks on a quest to find some ancient artifact which has the power to create and destroy worlds. Along the way, he's accompanied by a partner named Elika. Wonder who that sounds like. Who helps him in the quest? Honestly, while playing this, I kind of enjoyed myself. Sure, the controls are more streamlined compared to some later entries in this list, but it works for mobile phones. And at this point, all games on the mobile will just swipe left, swipe right. So compared to that, it's a really good game. I don't know if it's only me, but I don't want to go through a series of intricate control schemes just to shoot and climb. The puzzles are also heavily downgraded, and that's for good, giving more time for action. A game like Uncharted is a pretty simple game to pick up and play, so I feel it's well suited for a mobile based game. But the game has some problems, because the game sometimes has a very linear point A to point B, or just run in a straight line maps. But then it has unnecessary maps where you don't know where to go and just look up for a guide. But yeah, this game is of course delisted, so I got this in a really safe site. And I didn't actually finish this game, because it's a mobile game and I have other games on this list to look forward to. So if you want to play Uncharted on the go, then I would recommend Shadow Guardian, as it's genuinely good looking, plus has some adequate controls for mobile. I've been telling mobile for a long time. It just feels weird. Mobile. Alright, I know this is cheating, but I can't play a whole game series for a video and give a review for both of the games. So, I just played one game, and by footage, the games look similar. So out of convenience and my neglect of these games, I played the most obscure one out of the two, Adam's Venture Chronicles. Let's get the elephant out of the room. I don't consider this as a clone, but I do think they are trying to attract the Uncharted hype, and you can understand this by the post itself. come on, this is so obvious with the scarf and him swinging on the rope, and I literally found this when I searched up Uncharted 4 posters. And then the loading screen is a lit bonfire spinning.
You gotta see it as it is.
It's funny you should say that, because I was looking through some old photos and it looks very, similar.
Alright, that starting paragraph was written before playing the game, and now I just want to say that the game is meh. So let's start with the lore given. Adam goes on an adventure with Elena. I mean Evelyn. Funny how all these games have ladies starting with the letter E. And some professor, which I'm guessing is Sally. I of course didn't finish this game because it was so damn boring. This game is basically Uncharted without the fun stuff or action and only the puzzles. The voice acting is shameful and the writing is just so so funny and sort of awkward at points.
I think the interference is here, in the room. Something is hissing at me.
The game doesn't give you any indication of where you're supposed to go, and basically for the starting mission, you backtrack a lot. Okay, first you drag this out of the way, then crawl in and go to the other end of the area to press a button, wait for the longest cutscene to show that you have in fact opened a gate. You crawl back into the hole you came from, crawl into the gate, the button open, and then you do some of the slowest climbing to get to another button so that you can see a cutscene to know that you have in fact opened some lever which makes the elevator work, which is all the way in the other room, the first room which you came from. And now you would think that the game maybe, just maybe, would give you some shortcut to reach that room, but no, do all of that crawling while running in the normal human walking speed and reach the elevator. Don't get me wrong, the game does have some good moments in there, like the puzzles, which compared to Uncharted is a godsend. The puzzles in this game are equally challenging, making you ponder about the answer without it being plain annoying. The game also has some supernatural shit, which is really the most uninspired thing, basically a black blob, if you will. Not only that, but I genuinely think that the devs wanted to make something new and stuck by their ideas, but the game just turned out meh. Bad camera placements, boring gameplay, and the dialogue and writing just didn't want to make you play it thoroughly.
Me again.
Well, what does it want?
How should I know? I bet it's not here for a hug.
And one last thing, this game also has a line stolen from Uncharted 3.
Adam, do you hear me? Over.
Loud and clear. I just fell down a slope, but nothing is broken. Just my pride.
Have you found...
You okay in there? You hurt?
Just my pride.
The writing is just so awkward, man.
For now.
Love? How romantic.
Okay.
Oh, love, how romantic. Oh, okay. So maybe this is an indie, right? They had limited budget and etc, etc. But now let's move over to a game which is made by a AAA studio and maybe the first incarnation of Nathan Drake himself. Yes, I am talking about Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is the first incarnation where Tomb Raider and Uncharted was based on. I think it's more compared to Uncharted because he was the first incarnation to do everyday clothes, everyday man, has a robe, shoots guys, goes on adventure, finds treasure, fights bad guy, everyday man. So after playing some mediocre games, I wanted to try out something good for once, and that's where I saw that there were Indiana Jones games based on the movies, and I was like, wow, okay, I wonder why they stopped making these, because Emperor's Tomb was very well received. And then I found the reason. The Staff of Kings was supposed to release on the modern hardware then, which was the PS3 and 360 generation, with ports to PSP, DS, Wii and PS2 being outsourced to third-party developers. But the reason why the game was in trouble while developing was because of Uncharted Drake's Fortune's release with critical acclaim. Yeah, basically the reason why Staff of Kings didn't make it on PS3 and 360 was because of Uncharted. But the third-party devs working on the other ports were nearing completion, so as a final attempt to capitalize on the Kingdom of Crystal Skull, which the game release needed to coincide with, so they released the PSP, DS, Wii, and PS2 ports. Now I know that these ports are really different except for the Wii and PS2 ones, but I'm not playing the DS one because it's honestly not worth emulating, so I will be reviewing the PSP port as it's considered the best out of the three. And oh boy, do I wish I didn't play this game, cause this is the most boring game I have ever laid my hands on. I know it's a PSP port, but Tomb Raider Legend and Anniversary were downgraded to fit on the PSP, and it is still better than whatever this is. Let's start with the good. The combat and combos are honestly nice, each give you a purpose and sometimes feel like button mashing, but there's a good balance. The story is also pretty good, as well as the globe-trotting levels too. The game also has a variety of enemies, even though they die in the same method. Now on to the bad. The game is just inconsistent. I don't know why some levels are just so long, whereas others shouldn't even be called levels because of their objectives. At one level, Indy is running around an area hitting bad guys and pulling their obstacles to clear a spot, and this was fun. But then the next level is so atrocious, where you have to open these barrels to find Maggie, a girl, while enemies keep spawning out of those doors infinitely. It's not even like the crowbar scene in Uncharted 4, where it's always the third or the fourth place you check for, but more so like a hide and seek where she's always in the same barrel in every playthrough. And after that, there's a part where Indy's on a roof and fighting some guy, and he must throw these breakable objects at him to stun him. But you have to do this 6 times as he's holding 6 different guns. Where's he holding these guns? And then there's this auto aim feature when you pick up this object and he throws at him. But sometimes this doesn't even work. Then the worst part, the fire sequence. This is such a terrible level. First, it's so long, but it's in a bad way where they just drag this out so much. Then there are these parts where Indy's losing his breath. So you have to shoot these windows, but because of the auto aim, you can't aim properly, missing shots and losing your ammo. Then you might be asking, why can't you just reload? Weirdest thing is that you can't even do that. But you can in the Stafford bus section. So you just stand there waiting for your doom and inevitably meet your demise. Then there are these walking on log sections, which I hate so much. I will show you why I hate them. So you basically have to alternate by pressing L and R while moving along repeatedly. Okay, there's a scene where you have to shoot these 2 windows here. So I shot both for extra oxygen, unlike the submarine people. Imagine paying money to die. But after this cutscene, I am still losing O2, even though I shot both the windows. And then I tried rushing and finishing this level, but then realized halfway that it was Indy's canon event. Then the back and forth to this level too. You move this gear here for water to somehow appear, then the suit guy will go around, get trapped in fire again, until I have to move this gear over here. Then the guy will pull the gear for us, while I must go all the way to the other side and walk through a room where you have no idea where to jump, and these cupboards will like ignite and fall, decreasing your health. This is what I call just a bad game level. It's long, it's dragging out, and it's just not fun. This game is also so button mashy. The checkpoints are atrocious, which send you back all the way to the start of the level, and then the levels are just not even fun, they're just tedious. In one level you fight infinitely spawning goons and do one objective. In another level you fight infinitely spawning goons and do one objective. It's just not fun. It's the same level over and over again. Then the game has a difficulty booster in this boss battles. You know what? You guess. Maybe they'll make the boss very fast in his combos and must find a weakness of him. Well, no, because screw you, and take no health packets, as we as developers really care about you playing our game over God of War on the PSP. Now, I thought to myself, why is this considered the best one? Was there something wrong with me? Well, yeah, but that's not the topic of this video. So moving on, I emulated the Wii version, and oh my god, I will review this game in 2 words. Motion controls. Such a bad port where everything you do is based on motion controls. Steer a boat, motion controls. Shoot a gun, motion controls. Jumping. Well, I will let you guess this one. Motion controls. So yeah, the PSP version might be the best out of the ports, but it doesn't say much when you're comparing it to a hot, steaming pile of garbage.
Just terrific.
What game not well received at its launch but became a cult classic? Well, that game is Enslaved Odyssey to the best. Many people say that this game is a clone of The Last of Us, but this was actually released 3 years before. That meaning, it fell in the hype train after Uncharted 2 got Game of the Year in 2009. And the first indication of this is the starting mission, where you have this big ship and do all these Uncharted inspired stuff. Then the loading screen is also a mask spinning, which is of course from Uncharted. I'll be honest, even though it doesn't look like it, this game is really similar to Uncharted. The climb is very move using the left stick while pressing X, and some cutscenes looks really identical to Uncharted 2's in-game cutscenes, which was this game was released after. Overall, this game is fine like many Ninja Theory games, but there are some faults. The cutscenes sound really bad. I don't know why, but whenever this guy opens his mouth, I just want to tear off my skin.
Looks like I don't have a choice.
These areas are riddled with invisible walls, which kind of nudge you in the right direction without giving you an opportunity to explore. But it kind of feels weird because Uncharted did this way better. And then there are these don't get too far away from ally, which was there in Uncharted, but here it's somehow worse, where you have to command her to come with the big masculine guy which you play as. The fighting is meh, nothing fun about it. The game gives you some combos and moves to use, but doesn't force you to use them. I'll be honest, I didn't finish this game, but maybe I'll give a full review some other time. But this game got some goods, like this game looks good, like nice vistas. The ally girl is pretty, I guess. What else? Oh, the game has the death animation of the century. I really don't know how to continue this game's review anymore because this is the most 2010 gritty HD gen cinematic game I have ever seen, and somewhat good too. So, transition. Oh boy, did I save the best 2 games for last. Or should I say the 2 worst games for last? Alright, this game, unlike others on this list, is quite recently released, so it must be good, right? Right? Well, it's obviously one of the worst Uncharted ripoffs I have seen and played. First impressions, the game looks fine, the menu is really Uncharted-esque, and the game looks genuinely good. Then you play the game and it falls so low, so incredibly, indistinguishably, unimaginably, unamusingly, what am I doing? Bad Way is a Steam exclusive with action-packed and adventurous moments you have never seen before. Let's get one thing out of the way. The ragdoll in this game is just atrociously bad while being funny. Like when you jump off a reasonable height, you either get flung out of the area or break both of your legs while you rest there with unhuman eyes. But that's the only time I laughed. Well, I laughed a lot, but then I just stopped. You know when later games have an end of a playable area? But the problem is this game confuses the shit out of me because I really don't know what is playable and what is out of bounds. The game has no collision. One rock has collision, but then you go 1 meter away from the rock to the next rock, and that doesn't have collision. So you basically go out of bounds in the first level. And adding collision to a map is not that hard, I think. But how hard is it for adding collision to a map for a video game developer? The game's cutscenes are worse than Uncharted, which is fair in comparison because they both are indies, and one of those games was released in the 2010s. The voice acting is terrible, the animations are hilariously unfunny, and the story is just nothing. The game runs fine on my laptop, but it looks so bad at low or medium settings. The game is just unpolished, unfinished, unoptimized, and unimaginably bad. In the second version, the game gives you a car like in Uncharted 4, where you have to use this car because you as a human can't traverse through these steep slopes. Here, well, you can run anywhere. There are points where I don't even know where I am and if I was in the right way or the bad way. I had to make that joke. And that's good because the car controls here are bad. A little note to the indie devs, don't make car levels. Please just don't make car levels. I beg you not to unless you know how to manage the physics and shit. The car physics is so bad, so you basically if you hit something along the road, you come to a grinding halt and the level doesn't even feel specially made for a car in mind, and the car just feels like an afterthought. Not only that, but the game has some awful sound effects plus music and difficulty scaling. Listen to the gun sounds. And what is wrong with the difficulty? I put it on easy and the health drops very fast. And when you die, the checkpoints are so bogus, which I kind of notice in all these games which I played, that the game will just send you back like a long way back so that you have to backtrack and it just becomes tedious. I can't even play with the controller. You know what? I stopped after this part. This game is undeniably the worst game I've played so far, at a point where it doesn't even make me laugh. Rest in hell, Bad Way. You aren't gonna be missed. Now moving on to a game very exciting to me, plus the most recognizable Uncharted rip that any gamer knows. And you know what? Let the guy do it. To people, this is considered as a true Uncharted rip, but for me, this is
Unearthed, Trail of Ibn Battuta.
This game, man. Oh my, this game is a roller coaster. So it is made by a Saudi Arabian studio called Semaphore, and you can see how invested they were at making this game by the intro with PowerPoint transitions. And you know what? You have it too easy. Suffer with me. Now you might be wondering, Uncharted has the best trio characters in gaming by a long shot. But what about these characters? Well, we got Faris Javed as Nate, Danya as Elena, or not as her because she's actually his sister, and Rashid Al-Kalabi as Sully. In whomsoever mind thought to name Sully as Rashid Al-Kalabi is just beyond me. So basically everything this game features is a direct copy of Uncharted chapters. Don't believe me? The prologue, where the main guy is shot or wounded on his lower stomach while he traverses through an area, shooting goons while covering and blind firing, looks and sounds kinda similar to Uncharted 2's prologue.
What's going on?
The first level of the game, where you're exploring the place finding artifacts, is kind of reminiscent of the Search of El Dorado and the Path of Light chapters from Uncharted Origin and Uncharted 2. Then the two puzzle rooms with the player being able to choose whichever they want to complete first. Looks like Uncharted 3 chapter 11.
Pick your poison.
After the player must escape from the area by shooting down goons and backtracking to the start, which looks an awful lot like a surprising find, Only Way Out and As Above So Below, plus London Underground chapters from the 3 games respectively. The next 2 levels in the final chapters are basically Uncharted 3 Yemen sections done very poorly. The walkthrough of the Moroccan markets, to historical research, the chase to As Above So Below, and the sneaking around guards to again historical research. With the only different part which is original to this game and this game alone being the car section. Now when I look at this and compare it to the bad way, I feel sad for saying that those car controls sucked, because this game's car controls and physics are so bad that it makes me want to stamp on a Lego brick, which in hindsight would probably feel much better than this. The car basically bounces if you hit anything around the road. The car's controls are just terrible, and the AI of the police cars is much worse than the car's physics. The NPC's got some manufacturing defects as well, with like 20 fingers, 10 fingers, some like missing a lot of fingers. And this game is very glitchy, like you clip through walls by trying to experiment, and the enemies just glitch out of bounds. But unlike Bad Way, it's actually funny. You remember Uncharted's excellent animations? Well, they tried to replicate it. So many times, I laughed out loud, because the animations look like a person who just saw some kung fu movies and just mocapped it. No training whatsoever. Like, look at these melee animations. Oh my god. Oh yeah, this game is an episodic game like Telltale, but the problem is the second episode hasn't released yet. So you're getting a 45 to 1 hour game, and it's so funny because the game just ends on a cliffhanger.
Nice! Did you read them by any chance?
Yes, of course. Ibn Juzay kept the original version of the book in a cave he used for worship in the Atlas Mountains. He even detailed the exact location.
Then that's where we'll find the guy who stole the diaries.
How can you be so sure it's only one guy?
Your sister is right, Faris. We'd better be prepared.
Dark, cursed, and valuable thing. Here we come.
So yeah, don't worry, I'll be reviewing this game again in a full review in another video. So stick around for that by subscribing. And did you know that this game is actually getting a sequel too? It's true. So I hope this review grants me a early review copy of that. Semaphore? Please, I need Uncharted, please.
For starters, you were the one who always enjoyed raiding tombs and uncharting mysteries in video games. Now you get to do it yourself.
So, my closing thoughts are Uncharted cool, some games here mid, and most bad, some adventures unfinished and unpolished. This video, bada bing, bada boom, is over. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you didn't, please give me constructive criticism in the comment box. And thank you for 400 subscribers, 100 more to reach 500. And I forgot to mention that I will be reviewing some more games which I couldn't feature in this video due to time constraints in another video, so stick around for that. So I will see you all in another commentary video, but until then I will be in the refrigerator, cold, freezing and recording until my inevitable death, which will give me 100 views on YouTube to be exact. Bye.